Saturday night. I've got my little Taco Cabana margarita, so let's talk about some stuff. Hey guys, this is Jules with True Crime Reactions. If you're one of my usual viewers, you notice that this looks a bit different. I literally sit in my computer chair all day long. I work medical and I sit in that chair all day, and then when I'm editing videos and doing research, I'm sitting in that chair all day, and it hurts my back, okay? So I set this little thing up. It's just a little bitty couch, background back there. Some things might change eventually, I guess we'll see, but anyway. This is most likely what y'all are going to be seeing from now on. So, what do y'all think? So when it comes to the Idaho 4 case, I know that we have had updates here over the past 24 hours, but it's really nothing to discuss, you guys. It was basically just information letting us know that the defense finally received all of the discovery that they had requested some weeks ago, which they're very much privy to all of the evidence. That's just how this works. Now, from what I've seen, there's almost 1,000 pages worth of discovery, and there's also some media. I believe I saw something about a video being in there. There's really no telling what we're going to be hearing about come court. But the only thing that was released pertaining to this information was a little 9-page document that didn't really give any new insights or any new information. And I know there's still a whole bunch of crazy stuff going around about the whole co-defendant verbiage that's being used. And like I've mentioned, people that work in this kind of thing and have looked over these documents before stated that it's pretty generic verbiage. But I do remember hearing one lawyer's take stating that law enforcement could have taken this opportunity with this little 9-page release to clear up the codependent chaos that's going around right now, and they didn't. It's still just the same who knows what, we don't know type situation right now. So yeah, I know a bunch of people have done videos on it, but there's really just nothing to talk about when it comes to what those actual 9 pages say. I highly doubt that we're going to be given any actual specifics on evidence anytime soon. It seems like they're wanting to keep as much stuff secretive on this case as they possibly can, which you can't blame them if they truly are trying to protect the integrity of the case. But then we kind of have to go back and think about what's going on with Ann Taylor. Because, like I mentioned in my previous video, she had worked with Xana's mom on a few different occasions prior to this last crazy incident that's now being talked about everywhere. Well, then it turns out she also represented at least 2 other of the victims' parents within, I don't even know how long, but she still represented them. Now, I know the specifics, and I know that it's a small state and the district issues and the requirements needed for a capital case like this. Okay, I get it. But don't tell me exceptions couldn't have been made for this case. Don't tell me that exceptions couldn't have been made to do this correctly. And while, yes, I completely understand where a lot of people are coming from when they're kind of in agreement with Kara's case being dropped in order for Ann Taylor to now take off Bryan Kohberger's case because she's a death penalty type lawyer. Okay, cool. My next statement is most likely going to come off completely misconstrued because that's just how the interwebs works. But someone commented this and it actually made sense. And we have to be realistic here, guys. While yes, we are here for justice for the victims, justice is supposed to be fair and balanced. So then you also have to ask, how is Ann Taylor, being Bryan Kohberger's defense attorney, fair to Bryan Kohberger? Because justice has to be fair, okay? So it's kind of strange to me that he's just perfectly okay with her being his lawyer. That it doesn't bother him or his family enough to file a motion or do something to change the situation, knowing that Ann Taylor definitely did have legal relationships with at least 3 of the parents of the victims. Why isn't Bryan Kohberger's family or him himself also not having an issue with that? I mean, I know it doesn't really matter to a lot of people, and honestly, it doesn't really matter to me either, because I do believe, if anything, that he definitely is the majority responsible for the situation. And again, we could all be wrong. Law enforcement could have it wrong, and he's just a weirdo. okay? It's possible. Highly unlikely, but completely possible. But where is the uproar from that side about how unfair the situation is to him? Because it's morally and ethically not correct. It doesn't matter, you guys, what the state says and what the requirements are. Did the state not just give a crap about the emotional state of the parents in this situation? Were they just perfectly okay with slapping these victims' families in their faces even harder than the reality already has, that their children are gone? That's my point on this. I don't really care about the rules, guys. Y'all are going to find that out here. I am more about what is okay up here and what is okay in here than what the damn black and white text tells me is right. That's just who I am. So that commenter made a good point, and I'm really glad that they made that statement, because it's true. It's kind of not fair to any of the sides. But then you also have to question how this is going to end up playing out. And the prosecution is the state. She, Anne, is a public defender, which means that she is employed by the state. So it's not like the prosecution doesn't know what this could possibly end up doing. Something else that's just kind of been bothering me is the fact that there's a bunch of channels basically just blasting Xana's mom's history basically all over the place. And some of those people that I don't appreciate the fact that Olivia hangs around are some of the ones doing it, like making full-on videos just talking crap about Xana's mom. Okay, I get it, guys. She's a drug addict. She's been estranged from her kids. Does that make the emptiness that she feels inside of her for the fact that they no longer are breathing any less? It doesn't take away the fact that Xana is not alive anymore. So I don't understand why people are feeling the need to go after her that way. And yes, I know a lot of people are going to be like, okay, well, a bunch of people are talking about how drugs can be involved in this situation, and her mom is a drug addict. Okay, well, they were estranged too. They were estranged. Like, according to everything I've read, they've been estranged since Xana was 3 years old. So for almost 20 years. I highly doubt whatever Xana's mom is into had anything to do with what happened to Xana. So for everyone who's talking all this mad crap about how she has these active arrest warrants and she needs to go turn herself in, let me ask you this question. If you had pending charges against you that your state was trying to push on you, and they took your attorney, your state, the ones who have charges against you, took your lawyer from you and gave that exact same lawyer to the person that apparently killed your child, would you trust that state enough to turn yourself in? Hell nah. They'd have to come find my ass.